Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing even more fun facts. If you guys saw my more recent video about fun facts, you know the deal. I basically just list 20 fun facts about the game, and I decided to specifically pick out facts that I really don't think too many players know. Like, I imagine 99% of you guys watching this will learn at least one new thing after this video, so stick around, I guess. Alright, and without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So number one, some of the dialogue from cars are actually references to stuff, such as Michael Jackson when he says, I've been struck by a criminal driver. I think this is a line when you get hit by a car or you hit a car. It's like one of the random things, and it's actually a reference to the song Smooth Criminal. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with that song. There's actually other references, but I'm not really sure which ones they are. But if you guys in the comments want to let me know which other references there are. But yeah, I at least know there's the Michael Jackson reference. That's actually a really cool little Easter egg they put in the game. So yeah. Number two is actually a pretty juicy one. So at the Spaghetti Hotline, there's actually a cool little feature called like PLU, like PLU. And basically how this works is, I'll show a video of it in a little bit, but basically you can type in certain numbers and you can make the receipt say like, you know, bananas or apples or whatever. I'm not sure what all the numbers are. I only memorized like a couple of them. And if you type in 7724, you actually get spaghetti listed on there. Now, I don't think this has much of a practical purpose, but it is a very cool little feature that I definitely recommend messing with just for the fun of it. And also here's the clip. Moving on to number three, there are certain ways to be invulnerable to cars, such as holding the camera, binoculars, holding a tennis ball, etc. I'll just show a couple examples on screen here. Yeah, you can see I'm not going to take any damage from getting hit by the car, even though they're hitting me like really hard. It doesn't matter. I don't take damage. So yeah, next time you don't want to take damage, maybe do one of those things. Maybe it'll work out for you. All right, moving on to number four. This is a pretty cool one too. I imagine a lot of players didn't know this one, but the Hungry Duck actually used to have a different hat color. So before the Mayor update came out, the Hungry Duck, I believe, had a yellow hat. But then after the Mayor update, for some reason, they decided to change the hat to a blue color. I'm not really sure exactly why they did this. Apparently it was to avoid confusion. I'm not sure exactly what confusion there was in the first place. If I have anything here, I'll show it on screen what the exact reasoning is. It's kind of just theorized. It was just kind of random, but yeah, it's not really that important, but it's just something most players probably didn't know about, how his hat used to be yellow, but now it's blue. But to be fair, I don't think people even remember this character anyway. Like, when was the last time anyone used the Hungry Duck in this game? It's been a long time, that's for sure. All right, well, number five, this is actually for Super Quest, one of the arcade games in the arcade section of the game. If you play Super Quest, if you go to the top right, there's actually a tree that's like slightly out of bounds, and if you break it, you get 150 coins, which I guess is a pretty decent amount of money in that game. You can get like some armor or something like that. And the funny thing is that you don't even need an axe to break it. You can just use your bare fists. And that's good enough, apparently. And then, yeah, it's just a good way to get a head start in terms of money. So very cool stuff. And another one about Super Quest, number six, is that the key you can get from like the ogre things, if you know what I mean, if you get the key, you can actually use the key to just open the final door. You can literally just skip the final boss. I mean, the final boss is pretty easy, but you can just skip the final boss by just simply doing that instead. So that's another really cool fact that I imagine quite a few people didn't know about, because normally the key is used for the treasure room, but you can use it for that as well, which is, again, pretty interesting. This one's probably a more widely known one, especially by veterans, but there's actually a wide range of phone numbers, and if you call them, you can get 100 coins for completely free. All you have to do is just call the number, and then you get free money. Now, this sounds stupid, but apparently I think it was for a scavenger hunt they did way back then, where you can like find certain phone numbers. And yeah, if you go in the wiki, or actually I'll show it on screen here, but if you try all these phone numbers, each one, if you call them, you'll get 100 coins completely for free. You cannot call the same number twice though, that does not work, but you can get like, I think 600 coins for free because there's 6 different numbers. So if you want to make a quick buck, make a little extra money, definitely recommend trying that out. Number 8 is actually something I completely forgot about. I actually looked through this list of fun facts and I completely forgot that this was even a thing. But if you go to like the little pirate cave or whatever, if you guys know what I mean, I'll show it on screen here. There's a little pirate thing next to like your island camp. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if you use your binoculars near it, it's kind of hard to notice, but if you like go to like the top right-ish, there's actually a secret porta potty. Why is this here? I have no clue, but it's just sitting there. For some reason, there's just a porta potty right there. I have no idea why. It's just kind of weird, but it's definitely there. I don't think this really has much of a meaning or a purpose. I guess they just left it there and forgot about it. So yeah, very interesting stuff, I guess. All right, number 9, we got chicken thing in the test rooms. Now, what I mean by chicken thing is there's like this giant chicken. Before the testing rooms was removed, I actually made my own video on the testing rooms, but basically, if you win the testing rooms before it got removed, there was actually this giant chicken thing. I don't know. I think it's like a scrapped mechanic. I guess they wanted cooking in the update or something like that. But yeah, that's in the game, or in the testing rooms rather. You can't see it anymore because, like I said, testing rooms was removed. Interestingly though, in a more recent update, when I say recent, I mean like at least 6 months ago, like back in like around Christmas time when the lumber update came out, they actually added these new gifts or whatever. You guys probably know about it, but one of the foods you can get in this update was actually a chicken. And if I remember correctly, it looks basically just like the one in the testing room. So I guess they did eventually find some kind of purpose for it. Maybe not in the same way that it was originally intended, but it did happen. So I think that's a really cool little thing. All right, number 10, calling 911 during a fire mission gets you special dialogue. I don't remember exactly what the dialogue is because I haven't done it in a while, but it is pretty funny. They basically just call you out because like you're supposed to be the one taking out the fire. Why are you calling us? You know, it's your job. I'll show it on screen right now though. Number 11, calling the dog owner actually has its own special dialogue. Again, this is another one I haven't tried out in a while, so I'm just going to record it and I'll show you guys what the dialogue is. But I just remember it was kind of interesting, I guess, because most people don't really think to call them after you get the dog, because once you get the dog, who really cares? All right, number 12. This one's going to save a lot of people a lot of money, 1,000 coins precisely for each day. And this is the holiday events. Now, normally, to bring back the holidays when it's not the holidays, is you have to pay 1,000 coins per day to bring back Christmas or Halloween. But there's actually another way to do it without spending any money. All you have to do is you just have to go to your phone settings or whatever you're using, if you're using a Mac, but at least on iOS, all you have to do is you just go on your phone. I think you have to go in airplane mode as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know at least you have to go on your phone, change your settings, make it say December. It doesn't really matter what year or whatever. Just make it like December, like 20th or something like that. I don't know the range of days, but just make it like late December, and I'm pretty sure it'll work. And once you do that, if you reopen your game, you can actually use the Christmas stuff without it being Christmas time, which is very helpful, very good for saving money. If you guys haven't thought of that yet, I highly recommend trying that. And I'm pretty sure this is also one that most people know about anyway, but I thought I should share it. Number 13, a surprising amount of people don't know about this. I really assumed most people know about this, but the Parking Master warps. Now, if you've played Parking Master, which I imagine most of you have, there's actually a secret in the first level. So in the first level, if you go to like the corner, like from the starting point, if you go to like the top left corner-ish, there's actually a secret warp zone. And what it does is you can warp straight to any level, or levels 3, 6, and 9. And once you park in those little warp zones, it just takes you straight to the end of the game. So it's a very easy way to cheese the game. And yeah, a lot of people don't know about this because I've done it like on streams and stuff where I like just casually go in the warp zone. And there are actually some people that actually didn't know about the warp zone, which is pretty cool that people are still discovering this. But yeah, if you didn't know about that and you're struggling with Parking Master, highly recommend just simply going in the warp zone. And I'll actually show a video of it too, just in case you don't know exactly where it is. All right, number 14, Spaghetti Man has a funny AI. And what I mean by that is that his little pathfinding AI system, whatever you want to call it, it has a weird thing where you can actually order spaghetti in like the port, for example, and he'll try to run up the little gate thing even though it's closed. So it just looks really stupid because he's trying to run into the port gate, but he just can't because he's stupid. That's why. And here's a bit of a video of showing off what it looks like because I think it looks pretty funny in my opinion. Number 15, you can actually call Billboard, and here's the special part, right? So if you call Billboard, then edit the billboard, then back out, it's basically a way of like teleporting. So for example, if you call the billboard in the East Highway, if you back out, then go back in the game, you can actually just straight up teleport to the sawmill, which is a little useful, I guess. But yeah, I mean, not that useful though, because it doesn't take your vehicle with you, but it's still a neat little trick. It can be useful sometimes, but yeah, mess around with it if you want, I guess, and I'll showcase it here too. Number 16, you can stay up for an indefinite amount of time during a fire mission. So basically, all you have to do is you just have to be in a fire mission, pretty simple, and then you can just stay up for as long as possible. I actually took advantage of this, and I did a video where I actually spent like 50,000 coins on gas, and the reason why it was possible is because I was able to launch out the gas because I was able to spew out gas with the fire truck, and then at the same time I could like fill up gas. I had unlimited time because I would just never fall asleep because for some reason, I guess during a fire station mission you can't fall asleep, so you can do some pretty fun stuff with it if you wanted to, I guess. And that's also part of the fun fact. You can also technically spend infinite money on gas if you want, if you're into that sort of thing. I don't know why you would be, but I guess you can do that. Number 17, there's actually a way to sell foods at the ferries. So if you're very lucky, this does require some RNG, but if you just like buy as many foods as possible, or if you just have a huge variety of foods and you're driving people on the ferry, if you're doing the ferry job, there's a small chance the person will be like, I want this food, and then you happen to have said food, and then they'll be like, oh, I'll buy off you for like, an insane amount of money. So that's actually low-key a good way to make good money if you haven't tried that before. And yeah, some people just don't know about that. So again, it's a very interesting niche way of making money. So I definitely recommend at least trying it because it might be a decent way of making money. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, number 18, bigger star on the phone. And what I mean by this bigger star on the phone is that there's the little star character on the phone, right? Everyone knows this. But for some reason, when the update first came out, it was bigger. But then in a future update, they made it smaller. I don't know why they did this, but it just happened to happen that way, if that makes sense. This was actually shared on Discord by the user Sandwich. I know it's kind of a weird username, but I mean, my username is kind of weird. My username is just a bunch of M's on Discord. But anyway, yeah, they shared this on Discord, and yeah, it's just a very weird little detail or whatever. I'm not sure why they would change this, but here's a little side-by-side, by the way, if you guys are curious. But yeah, just thought that was kind of interesting. Number 19, this is kind of like a one-off thing, but in Chapter 4, when you're going up the little elevator thing, there's actually a small appearance change on the night vision goggles. For some reason, when you're going up the elevator, the little night vision goggles, they go up. For some reasons, this is the only occasion where you can actually make your night vision goggles go up. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess they wanted to make it look cool. For some reason, this is not a feature to do it normally. It's just for that one very short part of the game where you can do that. I think it looks pretty cool. I actually used it for a thumbnail for when the Mayor update first came out. And I thought it looked really cool. I don't know if you guys like that thumbnail, but I think it's a really cool looking thumbnail. So yeah, I'm sure most people know this already, but I just thought I wanted to mention that because I think it should be like made. You should be able to do it more often. I think it'd be pretty cool. Now, number 20, this one I discovered yesterday, actually. At least as of recording this, I discovered this yesterday on stream, by the way. By the way, the background footage is actually a stream right now, like my stream footage. But anyway, one of my chatters, I don't remember who it was, but one of my persons on stream actually mentioned how if you do a rabbit race or if you do the final rabbit race, you can actually get sent to the hospital during the rabbit race. And this is very good because it'll give you a huge head start and it also puts a disguise on for you. So you can do the rest of the race with your disguise on, which again, very game changing. It makes the race so much easier. In fact, if I'm going to show you footage of the stream right now, but I was actually able to finish the race with like 30 seconds left because it's that good. And I also remember in that stream as well, I also set the speed limit to like really low so I could, make it through the highway without getting, smashed or whatever. So yeah, very good trick. If you guys are struggling with the final rabbit race, 100%, I recommend trying that out. Very good stuff. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Let's see how much time I save. Apparently it saves 5 seconds, or that's what someone said in the chat. Yeah, and the race is still going. Let me just skip through this. Alright. Oh, yeah, we win. Oh, no, I'm not going to make it, chat. Wow. Alright. There we go, we win. Let's go. But anyways, yeah, there's 20 more fun facts about this game. Very cool fun facts that I've discovered. Again, some of these facts I discovered very recently as yesterday, actually. And I just think these are very cool little tricks in the game. Well, not really tricks, but again, just cool little facts, tricks, whatever. And yeah, shout out to all my channel members. I've actually, at this point, I have a lot of channel members now, which is pretty cool. I think I have like 20 or something. Thank you to every channel member for your guys' support. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I have another cool video planned. I don't know when it's coming out. And I don't know if I'm going to do a 200 days video because I did 100 days. I'm not sure if 200 days will come out soon. I don't know. It kind of takes a while to make. I'll consider starting that at some point. But enough of my yapping. I'll see you guys in the next